evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Right, so listen, I'm just going to put this out there right now for the get-go for everyone. If you are a man, woman, child, whether you identify as a wardrobe or a lampshade, I don't even care right now. If you're not stockpiling food, water, ammunition, probably not ammunition if you live in the United Kingdom, but if you live in the United States, if you're not stockpiling right now, you kind of need to take a real step back and think what is happening in the world right now. Because listen, guys, the stuff that's happening is not even, it's like, there's no pretext for this, right? There is absolutely no pretext. There's nothing we can look back at and say, oh yeah, well, when this happened. No, that's not the case, right? So what I'm going to be focusing on tonight is the mass evacuations, the conflict that is imminent, and the critical warning for each and every person who lives in the United Kingdom right now. And you know what? If you live in the United States, this is applicable to you, but a little bit less so. Do you know what? Actually, I don't even know, because I've seen what's happening in Minnesota. What I'm going to be focusing on today is the mass evacuations of the international embassies all over the Middle East. That literally happened today. Boom, like that. And you know what, guys? I've worked at the highest, echelons of government. Have I got a little thing? Yeah. I've worked at the highest echelons of government, and I know that when these things happen, I know the chain of events that happens before that, and I know how that gets reported in the media. And look, I'm under no disclosure agreements. I'm under no NDAs with the government. I can tell you guys what I know. And listen, also, for those of you guys, right, who are sending me messages, right? For those of you guys who are sending me messages who are serving military, telling me things you shouldn't tell me, right? First of all, straight away, from the get-go, I am Team GB, I'm Team UK, I'm Team Britain. I will stand and fall with the British military. That's where I am, guys. Okay, I don't even care anymore. I joined the military at 16. It's been very good to me. It opened a lot of doors to me since I left. I will stand and fall with the British military. I don't mean the British government. I mean the British military, right? There is no hesitation. There's no hesitation in that. So you guys that are sending me information that could be incriminating to yourselves, all right? I'm not saying don't send it me. I'm just saying, most of the stuff I already know, and I don't mean to be a dick or anything, but what I'm saying is I know a lot more than you guys know as well. I'm in this sphere. So listen, guys, if you guys are military, serving military, or whatever unit, whatever special unit you think you're from, maybe it's the A team, maybe it's the B team, maybe it's the C team, maybe it's the one of those guys that don't even have a name. Be careful what you're sending, because if you're asking me to report on stuff and make videos on stuff that will incriminate you or your unit, I can't. And I will never do that, right? I will absolutely never do that. And I will take that to the candy shop with me, all right? I will never betray the British military. I will never betray Britain at all. I won't even fucking, it's not even a question. Do you guys think it's a question that the Raven would betray Britain? Absolutely fucking not. Raven, honestly, I bled the other day and it came out red, white, and blue, and then it came out DPM. But listen, let's not get into that. Right. Okay. So, as always, if you guys are on, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification down below, because that really helps me out. So click all those buttons down below. I'm going to talk to you guys right now about the ridiculously escalating situation in the Middle East, because it is. There's no denying it, right? The United Kingdom, this is not just the United Kingdom. Do you know what? I'm just going to get into it. Am I going to get into it? Do you know what? Yes, I am going to get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know why? Because earlier on, I didn't get into my opening monologue until 30 minutes. Then after that, I'd forgot most of the points that I highlighted in bullet points. And it all went dilly-swizzled. And I don't like it when it goes dilly-swizzled. But I am going to jump back to what's been happening in the United Kingdom, because, listen, there's been some videos released of what happened the other day in the school in Sheffield. You know, what was it? FIR, F-I-R. Furvale High School. Is it Furvale? I don't know what it is. Anyway, but there's videos out about Furvale High School. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. It's fucking dark. It's disgusting. We have imported this. Not only have we imported this, but we've imported it. We continue to pay this. And like, there's no way out right now. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, wherever we're going, right? Let's all try and be happy, right? Let's all try and laugh about the situation, right? My business partner, right? My business partner, I was talking to him and I said, mate, I was telling him, I was talking to my business partner. I said, mate, I've not been paid for the last like 2 years. I haven't no money going to my bank, like no real money going to my bank account for the last 2 years. He said, Sean, I've had no money going to my bank account for the last 10 years. We started laughing. And I said, what was the last thing you bought? He said, well, you know, I recently spent $10 million on this and I got nothing in return. The US government took it off me. And he just started laughing and I started laughing, right? So if he's $10 million down, right? And I'm like, what? I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, a couple $100,000 down. Let's just laugh about it, guys. Let's just laugh about this, right? We are literally all in this together because, listen, I've taken that step down. I'm not in that high-profile job no more. I don't work for governments. And do you know what? I don't work for governments anymore. And it's such a relief that I don't work for governments and I don't have to deal with that politics behind the scenes. And what I mean by politics is like, oh, you said this to him. Don't say this to him. Oh, Sean, when you was in that meeting, you was a little bit aggressive. Go fuck yourselves. I tell you guys what is coming, when it's coming, how it's coming, and I'm not writing off aliens, okay? So let me just get on to this, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because, ladies and gentlemen, take a moment to absorb what is happening right now. Friday. And remember, bad things happen on a Friday, and I will jump onto the chat shortly, guys. I really will. So Friday, the 27th of December. Friday, the 27th. What? Hang on. Let me click this. What are we on? Yeah, Friday the 20th. Yeah, I have had a few pints of beer, guys. I'm not going to lie. And I've got some bottles over there. I've got some bottles of cider over there that are looking increasingly attractive. Anyway, so as we're standing now, Friday the 27th of September. Oh, fucking hell. Friday the 27th. Whatever date it is today, guys. I know it's a Friday, right? I know it's a Friday. Let's just go with that. Friday, whatever date it is. We are looking at a total global conflict. That's what we're looking at. I've been to we collectively on the charts. See how I slope my shoulders like that? Touch your shoulders off. Touch your shoulders off. We have been talking about together collectively as the potential first strikes into Iran on the 28th of, i.e. tomorrow, February 2026. Now, as we're standing here in the United Kingdom, the Foreign Office has just issued its strongest travel warning for the Middle East. The FCDO, which is the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, I should know, I used to work for them. I don't. The Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, which used to be the FCO, the Foreign Commonwealth Office. I don't know why they put a D in there. Sounds gay to me, but whatever. Now advises against all but essential travel to Israel. Yeah, to Israel. So what they're saying is basically the Israelis cannot, may not, will not be able to provide you with security. This is a big thing, guys. Okay, it really is. If you guys are in this space like I am, if you guys have been following these situations like I have, you know that we know that nothing is hidden anymore. You can always see these breadcrumbs, right? With existing advice against all travel to certain high-risk areas like Gaza, the West Bank, northern Israel, the borders remaining firmly in place, that's not routine caution. It's a clear signal that things are deteriorating fast and they're going to get worse, right? And look, guys, I know that you guys may or may not be watching from the United Kingdom. If you are watching the United Kingdom, throw a big up one time, fam. You're hearing me now? One time UK massive. I'm hearing you, fam. I'm hearing you. Right? So we are looking at a deteriorating situation. It's deteriorating fast, okay? If you live in the United Kingdom, okay, what I'm going to say to each and every person right now, maybe you live in the United Kingdom, maybe you don't. We have just seen in the United Kingdom, there's no denying this. This is not speculative. We have just seen a member of parliament be elected for Gorton and Denton because they were waving Palestine flags. Bum, 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 bum. Do you know what happens to those useful idiots? Honestly, like, these people have no fucking idea what they're like. These people, honest, like, honest, like, you know the phrase, those who don't understand history are doomed to repeat it. I think, and I've said this many times, Britain is going to become the next Iran. Yeah. Yeah. In Iran, in the late 70s, the Iranian liberals formed an alliance. Do you know, I'm not even gonna speculate on this. Let me throw this out there, right? I'm just gonna show you the Wikipedia page. So okay, so for those people who are voting and they're all like bum 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 bum, you know, so for those people, right, who are voting, you know, and they're so angry, you know, they're so angry that like white men are in charge and those white men don't have blue hair. Like, and, you know, you've got a lot of liberals and they are siding with, you know, radical Islamists, and they're all beating the drum. You know, they're all beating the drum. What do you think happens? Like, for example, look, right. I'm going off topic here, and I know I am. So I'm gonna try and bring this down real quick. Okay, what do you think happens to gays, LGBT, Jews when the Islamist regime gets in? And I know you may or may not know. Do you know what, actually? Nobody knows. Let's look back through history. So do a quick Google search, right? Listen, guys, I'm totally appreciating. I'm going off on a tangent here. Do a quick Google search on what happened when in Iran in the late 70s, early 80s. Oh, but Sean, that's a long time ago. Yeah, I know it is a long fucking time ago, you lunatic. But what else do we have to get our analysis from? All right. Look what happened in Iran in the late 70s, early 80s, when the Islamist regime took power. All those people that have been supporting them, you know, the liberals, bum, 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 bum. Look what happened to those people. It's hilarious to me right now, guys. I don't even find this like distasteful anymore. I think it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious, the direction of travel that we are heading in the United Kingdom. You know why it's hilarious? First of all, I'm not scared. Why? Because I'm an absolute fucking alpha. I take people to the candy shop. I don't stop till I got them spending all they got, right? I've also got friends in the United States, in Texas. I've got friends in Ukraine. I can leave this country anytime I want, and I can be gone. Gone like a deliberate swan. I can. Or I can form a republic and I can form a rebellion in Cleethorpes. Either one of those guys is good for me. So at the same time, sorry, let's get back, guys, okay? So at the same time as all this is happening, all right, Britain has taken the precautionary step of temporarily withdrawing staff from the embassy in Tehran. And look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody who's watching this right now, I know what a big statement that is. So the Britain withdrawing their embassy staff from Tehran, and that's what's happening right now as I'm talking. In fact, I think it's already happened. Britain are removing their embassy staff from Iran. Of course, it's temporary, but I don't think they're ever going to go back, which means it's permanent. But don't worry, guys. Don't listen to me. Listen to the mainstream, right? Because they know what they're talking about. I'm just Raven, sign his extension, telling you guys what's coming in the future. Oh, you don't think so? Go watch my previous videos and then relate them to what's happening now. Yeah, don't worry, guys. Put a super in if you think I'm right. So the British Embassy in Iran is now closed and operating remotely only. Some diplomatic personnel and their families have also been moved from Tel Aviv in Israel, for those of you guys who don't know, to another location inside Israel, citing fears that the security situation may escalate quickly. What do you think that means, guys? What do you think that means, that the security situation may escalate quickly? And if you're in the United Kingdom right now, I fucking promise you, like a dilly de swallows you guys best understand that your security... Do you live in the United Kingdom? Do you live in proximity to a big city, town, or location? Do you live near a changing demographic and you know where a migrant hotel is? Well, your security situation may escalate quickly also. But you can get 20... You can save £20 per person. For a family of 4, that's £160. Honestly, you've no idea how fucked we are in the United Kingdom. So, what they're saying, the British Embassy, is get the fuck out of Tehran. And if you're in Israel, get out of any excuse me, my mistake. Remove yourself from any location in or around Tel Aviv, because guess what? Situations can escalate quickly. And let me guess, listen, guys, if you live in the United Kingdom, you think situations can escalate quickly, I'm going to share with you guys a video later in a little bit about what really happened in the school in Sheffield. And it's just fucking, I live like, so what is it? Fir Vale, F-I-R, Vale, is it community school? Oh, I don't know, Fir Vale High School or whatever it's called, in Sheffield. There was something happened the other day. An altercation broke out between pupils. 2 teachers were sent to hospital. The video footage of that has come out, and I'm going to share that with you. Now, the first thing I want to share with you guys is the amount of... listen, guys, I'm not going to comment on the ethnicity of the parents that turned up. I don't even care whether they're white, black, blue, green. Everybody's human, guys. Everybody's human, right? We all need diversity. What I just want to say to you guys is, like, nobody's even mentioned this yet, but like, why were they not at fucking work? Like, normally, like, you work in the day and then you in the evening, like, so, like, how did so many people turn up did they all get time off work so quickly? I mean, well done to their bosses, guys. Let's all have 5 minutes. Let's all clap for our bosses in Sheffield, because you all gave time off to the ethnic minorities that had children at Fairview School. What they did it, they were not working. I don't know. Did somebody say that in the chat? I don't know. Listen, let's get on to this, okay? Because let's continue, okay? The Israeli borders and airports and or land routes might be shut without warning. Now, that is the threat. No, it's not the threat. That is the warning from the British government. So, listen, guys, if you guys are joining for the first time, welcome. And if you guys have, listen, I've not even said this yet. If you are joining for the first time, right, and you've not done so already, why have you not hit those buttons below? The like, comment, share, follow, subscribe. I don't even know what they are anymore, guys, because I'm that drunk at this point. I struggle. Like, honestly, I'm looking at my keyboard now, and I can't even see the keyboard. I'm just seeing a blur. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes it's good to see a blur. My friend in Ukraine, he sent me an email the other day, text, signal message. Where's my phone? I don't even know what my phone is. He said, Sean, now is not the time to be sober. I said, da chuva kanishna, which is, yes, my friend, I understand. So if you're joining for the first time, the British Embassy has, said, everyone get out of Iran, right? And this is an international, it's an international thing. They've also said, if you are in Israel, get yourselves the fuck out of Tel Aviv, because they're citing fears that the security situation could escalate quickly and that borders, airports, or land routes might be shut without warning. Now, to me, ladies and gentlemen, that is something in the business that you call a combat indicator. This mirrors moves by the United States and their embassies in Jerusalem, which have authorized the departure of all non-essential staff and families. And look, that is a massive thing. That basically says, get the fuck out now, and we're going to keep a skeleton staff. With ambassadors like Mike Huckabee, we love Mike Huckabee. He's a great guy. He's a really good guy. I love Mike Huckabee. Where are you, Huckabee? I love Huckabee. Mike Huckabee urging people to leave today while confirming flights are still available. So, guys, look, when I was doing this similar role in 2022 in January, anyone I knew in Ukraine, I was saying, look, get you and your fucking kids out now while you can. Some of them were like, oh, Sean, you don't know what you're talking about. Zelensky says, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, right? I'm right. I'm always right. I know what I'm talking about, and I supersede anyone else's fucking verdict, opinion, or bullshit that they may throw at me. I don't even care anymore, guys. I've done enough videos now for you guys to understand that what I say happens, and I don't say it if I don't think it's going to happen. Show me a shoe, 92. Now, these are not isolated decisions. They come against the backdrop of failed United States-Iran nuclear talks just yesterday, mounting threats of American military action against, listen, it may have even happened, mounting threats of American military action against Iranian targets. These are real. These are likely prospects and of a rapid regional escalation and degradation of safety. When governments start pulling diplomats and telling their citizens to stay away, it's because they're bracing for something serious. Strikes, reprisals, civil war, the kind of fallout that spills beyond the immediate theatre. And that is exactly why I'm doing this live stream right now for you fantastic people who are predominantly in the United Kingdom. And for those of you guys who are not in the United Kingdom, welcome. I'll come on to you. Throw a chat down there below. We need to be clear and understand the threat that we are facing. And I mean the threats that we are facing on our streets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the threats that we are facing on our streets. Right, I'm going to jump onto the chat. Well, let me jump onto the chat. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Good evening, welcome, everyone. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let me jump up, guys. There's loads of comments on the chat. Right, Lisa Jane, I'm going to start with you. In fact, I'm going to start with Mr. Right, Sean is saying, Sean is not saying, I'm Sean, but Mr. is saying, Sean took that shirt right off the back of some rag and sent to the candy shop. Right, okay, let me just throw this out there right now. I know a man, right, who ran off the back, okay, hang on, allegedly, for entertainment purposes, okay, so this may or may not be true. I know a man who ran off the back of a CH-47 helicopter, there was some bad guy on a motorbike. I think it was like it was like some Chinese 125 or something. He took him to the candy shop, right? Took his motorbike and rode it back on the CH-47, and that was then his motorbike for going to the cookhouse in the morning. Lisa Jane is saying, you have a lot more than others to deal with, Andrew. Oh, what's happening? I hope have we got beef in the chat? Right, where's Andrew Thomas? What's going on in the chat? Right, right, let me, hang on a minute. Right, so April Lee saying, Sean, we had an immigrant hiding in my sixth form toilet yesterday. Just find out this morning from students it was a man. Look, if you live in the West right now, you have no idea. I promise you, if you live in the West right now, you have no idea of the amount of cultural enrichment that you're about to face. And I don't mean that to be like, I'm just giving you how it is, right? That's coming. That is absolutely coming. Silly Gallard is on here. She's saying, Gerald. Right, I think she's reporting to someone else called Gerald. I'm not gonna mention Gerald. If you've got another comment, mate, and you're being polite and everybody's being polite, that's fine. What I'm gonna respond to is Silly Gallardi's comment, which I think. So what I'm gonna assume is Silly Gallardi is saying. I think there's a lot more than 15 million people in the world, Silly. What I think Silly is saying here, so Silly Gallard is in Israel. We love Israel, guys. I'd love to go to Israel. I really would. I'd love to go to Israel. Silly Gallard is saying, in response to someone, and I don't have time to look up back through the chat. I think Gerald is saying that there's like some conspiracy of Mossad ruling the world and that. And look, let's just go with both options, right? If there is, and I don't know if there is, I'm not saying there is or there isn't. I'm just saying if there is, right, some sort of conspiracy that Mossad are ruling the world, like, wouldn't you prefer that than like the Iranian IRGC? I know, whatever. Now, if there is some sort of conspiracy where Mossad are ruling the world, and there's like Israeli, there's Israeli every time you turn the corner in Aldi and you're trying to buy some flour and you pick up the shelf and there's like you pick up your bag of flour and there's a Mossad agent and he's got his little eyeball on you. They are fuck. Right, yeah, I'm buying some flour because I like flatbread. Oh, you like flatbread, Sean, do you? You must be an Islamist. No, mate, I just like flatbread. I do it all the time. I put a bit of beef in it, minced beef and some cumin. But like, even if that is the case, right? Sorry, I just tickled myself. Like, even if it is the case, and I don't know if it is, I genuinely, guys, I don't know if it may be the case, it may not. If there is Israeli spies saturating Britain with foreign interference, whose problem is that? It's certainly not the Israelis' problem, because that's what their intelligence service is paid to do. Yes, that's what your intelligence service is paid to do, guys. Your intelligence service, right, is paid to go overseas and manipulate and control other governments, right? So if, and I don't, look, guys, I'll be honest with you, I know all the conspiracies and all the theories. I just don't see any, I don't see any direct evidence, right? Yes, there's circumstantial evidence, like there's a huge amount of Epstein, for example. Epstein, right? There's Epstein, right? There's a huge amount of Jewish people in positions of power. I get that, I really do. But equally, like, there's a shitload of black people as boxers, right? There's a shitload of black people as boxers. Is there some kind, like, is there a global listen, guys, there's a global conspiracy to get black people as world-class boxers. You're like, what? Like, look, I'm not saying, I understand all these conspiracies. I really do. I've looked into them. I just, like, I don't know. I'm not saying either of them are right or wrong. I just struggle with the evidence. I like to deal with evidence on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have not noticed, I like to deal with evidence. I like to deal with facts and a little bit of reptilians, a little bit of aliens, and a little bit of a conspiracy. Right. Let me jump down to the bottom. Guys, the chat's going absolutely wild tonight, guys. The chat's going wild. I can't keep up with everyone. I really can't. I can't. Louis Ackers is saying the fucking wild, wild west is going to get more wilder than ever. I think it is, guys. I think it absolutely is. Right, I'm literally just jumping down to the bottom, guys. I can't see. Right, Louis Ackers is also saying evidence and facts are always distorted. Yes, absolutely. So look, and I'm not, yeah, I totally get it, I get people who are throwing these things out there saying, oh, there's this secret cabal of Jews that are, like, I don't know, like doing Jew stuff and Jewing people. And I get that. I understand the evidence towards that. I've not had any direct, I'm not saying that's not true, guys. Hands up, I'm not saying that's not true. I've just not seen the direct evidence. And when that Overton window expands, and you're like, right, okay, where do we even go with this? Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Right. Where are we going? Right, where are we going? Right, let me continue, ladies and gentlemen. The chat's wild. Right, I'm going to turn this off for a second, right? I am going to turn this off, right? I'm not going to turn you off. Absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. No, I am not. I am going to turn the chat. I'm going to not look at the chat for a minute, right? So for those of you guys who've not been, who are joining for the first time, and if you're joining for the first time and you've not done so already, first of all, I'm going to ask you two questions. One, why haven't you clicked those buttons down below? The like, comment, subscribe, bell notification. They're like down there. It's just a little tip on your fingers. Do you know what? Because I don't gaslight you in what's happening now. I give you the truth about what's happening in the future. Yes, I do, good sir. We are talking this evening. Was that one thing or two? I don't even know. I'm just realizing I don't have a glass and I've got like cider over there, whatever. We are in a situation right now where the embassies all over the Middle East are being evacuated. That's what we're talking about, guys, okay? Because when these things happen, it means that people are bracing for something serious. And that's exactly why I'm speaking to each and every one of you good, beautiful, fantastic, articulate, intelligent people from the United Kingdom. Because as I sit here in my fantastic, what is it? It's an what's this chair called? Is it a fisherman's chair? Captain's chair? I don't know. Chesterfield chair. What I'm saying to each and every person, like I've said for the last maybe 3-6 months, when the first airstrikes go into, it's not even, I'm not even saying this, right? I'm asking a question, right? Because I don't want to get done for misinformation. So I'm asking a question, right? Can you be done for misinformation if you're asking a question, right? I'm asking each and every one of you people in the United Kingdom, maybe you live in Manchester, maybe you live in Gorton and Denton, maybe you live in Birmingham, maybe you live in London. When those first airstrikes go into Iran, how do you think the Muslim population in the United Kingdom is going to react? What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to say, oh, well, the Iranian regime has killed over 30,000 people in the last couple of months, and, that's not really good for Muslims, and, the Americans are actually doing a really good thing by overthrowing the government? Or do you think they're going to be out going, death to the infidels? Ah! I don't know. Of those two, I don't know. I'm 50-50, guys. I'm 50-50, but I'm betting on one 100%. So I think people need to understand what this means on our streets, like on the streets. Go and look at Gorton and Denton. The country's falling, the country's sliding. Iran has long maintained networks abroad, including the United Kingdom, including Europe, including, where we all live. Some more intense than others. Networks that intelligence agencies in the United Kingdom, and I've done plenty of videos on this, guys, to go and check my other videos, have flagged as potential sleeper cells. And by sleeper cells, I don't mean somebody who's missed the bus, right? These warnings from the intelligence service aren't Hollywood fiction. They're clandestine operatives or proxies or something worse, linked to the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Hezbollah affiliates, Hamas affiliates, whatever you want to put on that. It doesn't really matter, because these are individuals who are groomed, who lie low for years, blending into our society until activated for whatever that purpose you guys may or may not think. And I would say, well, I'm not even going to say. We've seen warnings before in the United Kingdom. MI5 and counter-terrorism officials have tracked Iranian-backed plots here in the United Kingdom. I've done so many videos on this, guys, targeting dissidents, Jewish sites, Israeli interests, military industrial facilities in the United Kingdom. Reports from our own security experts point to grooming tactics, online recruitment, and the use of criminal proxies to build these networks. Honestly, it's so fucking ridiculous to me right now. This guy, the what's his name? Zach. What's his name? Zach Bumsky or something? Is his name Zach Bumsky? I think his name's Zach Bumsky or something. Is that his name, Zach Bum? The leader of the Green Party. I think his name's Zach Bumsky or something. What do you think would happen if Zach Bum? Is it Zach? Is it? I think it's Bumsky. I might be wrong. I think it's Zach Bum. Somebody correct me in the chat, guys. I think his name is Zach Bumsky. He's. So for those of you guys who don't know how this works, right? If you guys don't know how this works, right? The Islamists, they move into a country. they side with whatever subversive faction it is, right? As long as they're white, as long as they're voting for someone that's, someone that's white. And then when that person gets into power, they tell them what to do. And then whenever they stop doing exactly what they're told, they get sent to the candy shop. What, you don't think that can happen in the United Kingdom? Yeah, that's what they thought in Iran in the 1960s. I promise you, that's what they thought. In these times of heightened tensions like now, with embassy closures, evacuations, the risk to people in the United Kingdom is rising sharply. If Iran, which it will, perceives direct Western involvement in strikes, or if proxies feel concerned, those dormant sleeper cells could and will be given the green light for attacks on the United Kingdom, across Europe, across the world. I don't want to stoke panic. I want to stoke realism and realistic thought, realistic, realistic analysis. Most people, right, in the United Kingdom are ordinary Brits. However, we have these growing communities who bring their international conflicts to this country. And unfortunately, we have a political system. The whole system is set up to win votes. So the political system in the United Kingdom is set up to win votes, not to make the country better. That's where the system is set up. So if you are a fringe or struggling political party, quite easy. You go with the minority vote. You appeal to those people. Look, let me just throw this out there. Just because someone's a minority doesn't mean they're right. Just because someone's a minority doesn't mean they're good. And you know what, guys? I'm going to say this. This is from the heart, right? This is from the absolute heart. Honestly, what I'm going to say now is from the absolute heart, and I mean this with 100% sincerity, right? And I've never said this before, and I feel a little bit awkward saying this, but if you're on my channel for the first time, make sure you hit those buttons down below, the like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, because I'm the only person who keeps you informed of what's happening next. I don't gaslight you on what's happening now. No, sorry. I couldn't help myself. I grew up in Rotherham, right, in the 90s. And if you guys want to Google Rotherham, 1990s Britain, Rotherham, key events, yeah, some fucking wild shit was happening, right? I can remember seeing the police and the police coming out and saying, yeah, we're not going to take this any further because somebody said you were being racist. And you're like, what? He fucking jumped at me with a knife. And you're like, yeah, but he says you're being racist, so we can't take it any further. So I understand how these things work. Slowly, and it's so it's like. Anyway, look, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I'm gonna leave it there. Right. Okay. So the crux of this live stream, ladies, I'm not gonna leave it there. I'm gonna jump to the chat in a second. So the crux of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen, has been the escalating tensions in the Middle East. I'm gonna check what's happening now because this excuse me. Because this story is developing, it's getting bigger as we speak. The deteriorating situation in the Middle East right now, as we speak, is clearly deteriorating. British embassies all over the West are leaving the Middle East as the security situation worsens. Now, that's what I've been talking about. That's what I've been talking about on this live stream. What I just want to bring again and keep bringing it to everyone's forefront is when these airstrikes go in, and I think it's going to happen tomorrow. I know a few of you guys think it's not, but whatever. If these airstrikes go in, how do you think the Muslim community, in the beautiful Muslim community, beautiful Muslim community, guys, in the United Kingdom, they have beautiful culture, beautiful people, beautiful voting, beautiful, just fantastic cultures, right? Fantastic Middle Eastern culture. How do you think they are going to react when those airstrikes go in? And look, if you're on right now, what I want you to do is I want you to compare. Look, I'm telling you guys to compare things that have not happened. Why? Because I know what's fucking coming, right? What I want you to do is compare how things, and I really need a wee. What I want you to do is, if the airstrikes go into Iran, what I want you to do is compare the difference between the Muslim communities when the Iranian government was massacring thousands of their own people in a clampdown on the protests, right? So that's the Iranian government killing their own people. And when the United States or the Israelis go in with their airstrikes, just compare those two. Write down get a piece of paper and write Iran protest crackdown, US-Israeli airstrikes, right? Just do that, right? Number of people killed, reasons, try and write down as much information about that and then go, oh, okay. What was the outcome on the streets in the United Kingdom? Look, I'm speculating here about something that's not happened yet, right? So I don't know, obviously. I don't know. Maybe they're all out there with their blue hair going, Donald Trump, you are the best. Iran does need to fall right now. Donald Trump, you are the best. I don't know. Maybe they're going to be chanting that. I don't think so. Right. I'm going to jump onto the chat briefly. I'm then going to go for a wee because I am absolutely bursting for a wee, guys. I'm absolutely bursting for a wee. Crow is saying, oh, hang on a minute, guys. I've got a super. Lisa Jane. Right. Googling us. Right, thank you, Lisa Jane. Right, let me jump up and get these comments. Right. Wow, there's so many comments, guys. So many comments. I'm really struggling here with the comments. I really am. I can't even find them. There we are. Right, okay. Lisa Jane, I've got your comment. Right, let me... Right, Bradavis. Right, let me just do it. Right, Bradavis, calm yourself down with the Baal worshipping, because he always comes up with some Baal worshipping stuff. Right, I'm looking, right, Googling us. India is suspending flight. Yeah, guys, listen, it's all fucking kicking off in that region. It is absolutely all kicking off in that region. These Middle Eastern... the people in that region absolutely understand what's happening, and it's all, it's all going one way, right? Hertzman is saying N12 India reports. Sorry, N12 reports India is cancelling. Yeah, guys, it's fucking going. It's going. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, okay? If anybody's on here right now and they think that there's going to be a peaceful solution, the Iranians, the Americans, the Israelis, they're not going to be having a regional war, put it in the chat. And listen, just for context, I told you all this was happening. Right, I did a screenshot of this. Give me a second. I did a screenshot of this. Guys, there's so many comments. I'm really struggling at the moment. So listen, guys, if you're on for the first time, right, if you're on for let me find this screenshot. Give me a sec. That one. No screenshots. Screenshots. Right. Can you guys see that there? Right? Can you guys see that? That was a video I posted on the 15th of December. Right? That was a video I posted on the 15th of December, 2024. Right? Look at the date I gave for the invasion of, for boots on the ground, for the March 2026. You guys can see that, right? Look, when you understand the game, when you understand the rules, you understand the outcome, right? On that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, I'm literally just going to run to the toilet because I'm absolutely blasting for a wee. I'm blasting for a wee. Give me 2 secs. I'll be straight back on, guys. Literally, I'm dying for a wee. And if you've not done so already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am here. Yes, I am. No, listen, I know what you guys are thinking. I know exactly what each and every one of you fine people are thinking right now. You're thinking, Sean, what did you do earlier on in the gym? Well, I'm going to tell you right now what I did earlier on in the gym, right? First of all, I was furious because there was a guy in the gym bench pressing in the squat rack. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? Who bench presses in the squat rack? It's not even a thing. And do you know what made it even worse? There was like 2 benches empty, right? And then this guy like bench pressing. He pulled a bench in and he was like bench pressing in the squat rack. But look, let's not worry about what he was doing. Let's worry about what I was doing. So what I was doing is I've changed my whole fitness regime because normally I'm onto the war fighting fitness, which is a lot of endurance. It's a lot of keeping going. It's just that tenacity to keep going when everything else has failed. However, combat fitness is a lot different. It's very explosive. It's very high intensity, and it's like, right, okay. It doesn't fucking matter what's going to happen 20, 30, 40, 50 an hour's time. I need to be able to explode as much strength and energy onto my opponent as possible right now. So that's the training I've changed, and I've changed that up into that. Right, let me jump over because Googleinos is saying the mainland Chinese embassy in Iran. Guys, everybody's leaving. Everybody is leaving. It's all go crazy, guys. It's all go crazy. It's all go crazy. The world's gone crazy. Look, when this happens, and I've been talking about this for a long time, when this happens, if this happens, I think, look, if anybody thinks that this, do you know, I'll fucking show you right now why. I will show you right now why this war is going to happen. I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. I think it's this one. Hang on, give me a sec. Yeah, right. Okay, so everybody's, look, everything that's happening now has been written and confirmed a long time ago, right? It's been written and confirmed a long time ago. Raven, how do you drink hard? How do you train hard and drink hard? Drink just ruins training completely. I train hard. I don't know. I think there's something. I don't know. I think there's something wrong with me. I get up in the morning and I'm fueled by. I'm fueled by coffee, rage, and hate, in equal amounts. So I just get it done. I've always lived like this. Right, guys, look. Let me just. There's loads of comments on the chat. Swedish armed forces can now confirm that a Russian drone that flew toward the Charles going. Russian signals. Oh, right. Okay. So Macho Nugget is saying, "I'll come on." Right, guys. Somebody needs to remind me in a minute to come on to French, not even French, asymmetric naval warfare. Right. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on right now and you're wondering how I am so accurate with my predictions, telling you guys what's, excuse me. Usually three. Show me or maybe 4. It's 4. Show me the door. Right. So if you guys are on this channel and you're like, oh my God, why does Sean know this much? Is he in a seance with ethereal beings? I'm like, no, I'm not in a seance with ethereal beings. I just look at the news, right? I promise you, I promise everyone in the world, wherever you're watching, Jesus Christ, I think it's going to be 5. Maybe not. Maybe yes. It's going to be 5. Jesus, listen, I've never been a 5er. I've been a 5er, but not that often. So, for those of you guys who are watching, right, one of the things I always say on this channel is all the information that you need to know about what's coming in the future is readily available. It is. It's readily available, and you can find it on the internet. You can't hide anything anymore. The problem is people don't believe it, right? People look at things and they say, oh, yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I don't believe that because the BBC told me otherwise. Honestly, I know people who are family members who are like that. So what I'm saying here is, I'm not saying anything, actually. I'm going to read what this says. And I've done this quite a few times, and I've said this quite a while ago. If you want to know what's coming in the future, I'm just going to read it here. Excuse me. House Resolution 559, 2324, 118th Congress, declaring it is the policy of the United States that, and this is from their own website, guys, all right? So if you guys want to call me out for fake news, it's not me, it's on their website, all right? House Resolution 599 or whatever, declaring that it is the policy of the United States that a nuclear Islamic Republic of Iran is not acceptable. And then we go down, and it's just this little statement here. This little incy-wincy statement, guys, passed on the 1st of November. You guys can't hear. I know that you guys won't be able to see that, but don't worry, I'll be able to read it out for you because I'm blessed with the gift of sight. So this is the bill that was passed on the 1st of November 2023, and I remember saying, guys, get the fuck ready. This resolution declares that it is the policy of the United States, 1, raz, dva, четыре, to use all means necessary to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. And 2, to support the freedom of action of partners and allies to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. Now, in that context, I think they're talking to their regional partners, Israel. Now, whatever you guys think, believe, or, I don't know, stand by, I stand with Palestine, I stand with... Nobody gives a fuck. First of all, nobody gives a fuck, right? You should be thinking about yourself right now. People need to start thinking about themselves. This was from 2023. So when I give you guys analysis, speculation of what's coming in the future, it's not because I've got some crystal ball, and I don't, and you guys will be following me for a while. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I've got an 8 ball. I've got an 8 ball, and it's not that accurate. Sean, in fact, 8 ball, magic 8 ball. Magic 8 ball, do I have the most fantastic hair on the internet? Jesus fucking Christ. What? That fucking changed. No, it changed. It was just yes, but it changed. Hang on. Oh, it's fucking... Right. It did say yes straight away, but look, obviously, fake news. I can't confirm that. It changed at the last minute, whatever. Let me jump down, guys. Listen, the chat's going bonkers tonight. It really is. The chat's gone bonkers. I'm struggling to keep up with everyone. Listen, if you've put some if you've put some stuff down on the chat, right, I do apologize because I just literally can't get to everyone's because everything's going crazy. Dylan is saying, I thought he said F off, you cheeky. No, it did not. It said your hair is absolutely fantastic. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't. Danielle Tuds is saying, never mind the future. It's here and it's here. Labour are done. There's no coming back from here. Okay, so I agree with you, Danielle. Danielle, you live in Poole, right? I think Danielle lives in Poole. Danielle is saying, never mind the future. It's here and it's here. I agree with you. Keir Starmer's done. Now, the terrifying prospect as an analyst is what comes next, because it's clearly not going to be the Tory parties, right? Did you guys know? So you know the election in the election that everybody's talking about, the Gorton and Denton election in Manchester. So the Tory party, guess how many votes they got? They got like, I think they got like 7. I think it was like 700 or something. I'm pretty, you know, guys, somebody fact check me on that. I think it was 700. Hang on. I think they got like 700 votes. Can you imagine that from a political party? They got 700 votes. That's fucking, like, ridiculous. 700. I'd get more than 700 standards as an independent. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I said to you right at the beginning of this live stream, I was going to share with you something. I didn't, I forgot, but I'm going to share that right now. So for those of you guys who don't know or forgot, yesterday there was a mass incident at a school in Sheffield. Now, I'm going to share with you guys... what's being... I'm just going to share this video with you guys, right? And I'll let you guys make your own decisions on this, okay? So this is allegedly a video from the Fir Valley Academy in Sheffield that there was a mass incident yesterday, okay? You guys make your own mind up. So first of all, like, what I want you guys to understand is, like, what's going on here? What's the pretext and what's the context, all right? Sorry. So you know, yesterday when I said our playground schools are now becoming crime scenes, our playgrounds are now becoming battle sites. Turns out I was right again. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but like in the background, people are talking, and they're not talking in English, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. But I don't. You know, if you come to this country, English is not your first language. Absolutely fine. But when does it become fine? When does it become okay to not speak English in England? When does it become okay not to speak English in England? It seems like, you know, being able to speak you can be English without being able to speak English, and that to me just sounds paradoxical, right?
Guys, you need to be in your classrooms.
That was clearly English. Now, look at the amount of people on the streets. Like, where's their fucking jobs? Why are they not at work? That's a lovely tree there. I think that's like one of those palm trees. I'm pretty sure that's a palm tree. They're beautiful trees, guys. They're quite expensive, actually.
I'll try you.
Achievement, togetherness, respect, determination, and opportunity. And 3 police officers there keeping their dilly-dannies warm in their body armor. What a fucking picture. What a picture to fucking hell. Ah! What a picture to sum up the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are international right now, if you don't live in the United Kingdom and you want to know what life is like in Britain, that picture right there. Fuck. Jesus. By the beard of Zeus and Odin's eye. Now listen, guys, I'm not gonna report. I won't. I will not do it. I will not report on any of the comments below that are saying that are commenting and speculating on the ethnicity of these 2 gangs and that there was gangle. I'm not going to say that. All right. All that is clear here is, you know, there's been a mass incident in Sheffield. Look at the gates and the fences, man. How's her there? Her. What the fuck is she gonna do? Honestly, look, I don't commit crime. I literally sit in here. But you know, if like she wasn't if she wasn't a police officer, right? And she came up to me and she said, "Sean," I said, "What's up, love?" She said, and if she came up to me, right, and I mean no disrespect to her, I'm just being honest, right? If she, well, I presume it's a she, right? If she came up to me and said, "Sean, I'm going to apprehend you," I'd say, "Put the fucking kettle on and make me some noodles." That's what I'd say. I'd say that to her. Like, and if she was obviously, if she were in her with her ability as a police officer, if she came up to me and I was a criminal, and I'm absolutely not. Look, guys, for those of you guys who don't know, like, I'm pro-government. I'm pro-law and order. I'm pro-military. I'm pro-foreign intervention. Yeah, I am. I know it doesn't sound like it sometimes. If that lady came up to me, because I'm pro-government, I'm pro-law and order, if she came up to me and said, "Sean, I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of, I don't know, your hair being so fantastic, it's causing a driving distraction, I would say, well, that's fine. I respect your authority as a police officer. However, if she was just come up to me, I'd just say, shut up, get the kettle on, right? And once you've made me a cup of tea, go down to McDonald's and get me 2 cheeseburgers and some fries. What's she going to do? Anyway, guys, that was the video I want to share with you guys from. I said I was going to do it right at the beginning. I totally forgot. I totally forgot because you guys are throwing shit out there at me, left, right, and center. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're living in the United Kingdom, we are living in battleground Britain. This is a crisis alert because as far as the mainstream media is concerned, and listen, what do you mean by mainstream media? Well, I will show you right now, ladies and gentlemen, because there is a conflict imminent. Now, that's not my words. They are the words from Sky News, which is breaking. UK issues travel warning as Middle East crisis worsens. That's what's happening. It's not just the United Kingdom. This is a multinational. This is a multinational event, and I think if you live right now, and I do, in the United Kingdom, you need to brace for what is coming because I don't think it's going to be anything good, guys. Listen, I am going to close this down now. There's far too many comments on the chat, guys. Donald Trump said he may have to use force against Iran. Guys, look, Googling us. You know when I said this in I know what I shared with you guys then was it December 2024? I've said it a lot earlier than that. I think everybody needs to just stop listening to mainstream media and just ask me. Sean, Keir Starmer says this what's really going to happen. Oh, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen, right? There's Google leaders are saying, yes, Donald Trump recently, he has said that the United States may have to use force against Iran. Oh, look, these things have already been planned a long time ago. It's just a pantomime at this point. It's just an absolute pantomime. A load of letters, Nick Osif, I don't know what that means. He's saying, John 14:16, Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Listen, I love a bit of biblical scripture. I do, guys. I love a bit of biblical scripture on a Friday. Right, I'm literally jumping down to the bottom, guys. Right, who have I got? Who have I got for the final comment? John, we're going to use John. We are going to use John. Right. Diversity can be your downfall too. I think diversity is always a downfall, guys. I really do. And Lisa Jane, do you know, I'm going to leave this with Lisa Jane, actually. Lisa Jane and her fantastic picture and her fantastic thumbnail of her sat in the... guys, there's so many comments, I can't get them all. Lisa Jane and her fantastic... Oh, hang on a minute. Googleinos is also saying, look, everybody knows. It's what's that song? Everybody knows, but no one's saying nothing. It was a sound so very loud that no one could hear. I don't even know who sings that. I do not even know who sings that, guys. I've no idea who sings that. Is it Oasis? It might be Oasis. Right, I am going to close this down. I am absolutely going to close this down. You guys are fantastic. You're beautifully articulate. I will be back on tomorrow morning at 10. Do not be surprised if those airstrikes have gone in overnight, guys, okay? Do not be surprised if that's happened. If that does happen, prepare for what's coming on our streets. Another that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourself, protect yourself, and I will bid you all good evening. Emma Jane is saying good night, young Raven. I think I'm like 40. I think I'm like 40. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm 43. I think I'm 43. I'm pretty confident. I'm in a confident state that I'm 43. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go because I've got a tomahawk steak to cook on the barbecue. I know I need to put more chocolate on the barbecue. I'll see you guys in the morning at 10. Don't be late.